Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we will dive into the chilling possibilities surrounding a potential body discovery that's got fans on the edge of their seats. In the swirling drama of Port Charles, whispers from the latest General Hospital spoilers suggest that Colette Moreau could soon meet a watery end, her lifeless from bobbing ominously in the waves. Imagine the shock rippling through the community as young Rocco Falconeri and Danny Morgan stumble upon this horrifying scene during what should have been an innocent outing. The preview clip for the week of August 25th to 29th captures their wide-eyed terror, faces pale as they gaze at the floating figure below. It's the kind of twist that leaves viewers gasping, pondering who might be destined for such a tragic demise. Colette, with her shadowy alliances and fleeting presence in the storyline, emerges as a prime candidate for this grim fate. She's not deeply woven into the fabric of the show like longtime favorites, making her an ideal character to sacrifice for maximum impact without derailing major arcs. Adding layers to her peril, Colette has been covertly undermining the World Security Bureau, a dangerous game that could seal her doom. Her recent confrontation in Jack Brennan's office, where tensions boiled over into veiled threats, only heightens the stakes. Brennan's icy glare and pointed words hinted at retribution, leaving Colette and the audience wondering if her boldness has pushed her too far. Yet, as we peel back the layers of this mystery, it's worth questioning whether Brennan would truly be the one to orchestrate such a visible end for Colette. His track record speaks volumes about his meticulous nature. Remember how he orchestrated the seamless vanishing of Cyrus Renault, leaving no clues behind? Or the swift cleanup after that imposter nurse's failed hit on Sonny Corinthos in the bustling Los Angeles medical facility? Brennan operates like a ghost in the night, erasing problems without a trace of evidence. If he decided to eliminate Colette, one might expect a far cleaner operation, perhaps a quiet disappearance into the ether, her name fading from conversations like a forgotten whisper. Inventing a new angle here. Perhaps Brennan's hesitation stems from incomplete intelligence. He suspects her disloyalty, but lacks the full picture of her betrayals, including secret communications with unknown players that could unravel his own web of influence. This uncertainty might buy Colette a brief reprieve, but it also opens the door for other threats to emerge. Delving deeper, we can envision Brennan consulting with his inner circle, weighing the risks of acting prematurely against a wild card like Colette, whose knowledge of WSB internals could prove explosive if mishandled. Shifting our focus to a more volatile suspect, the enigmatic Sidwell enters the frame as a potentially lethal force in Colette's orbit. His appearance at the foreboding Windermere in the closing moments of the August 26th episode set off alarm bells, his demeanor radiating unchecked authority. Sidwell made it crystal clear that he bows to no one, not Colette, not her associate Pascal, and certainly not some shadowy overlord pulling strings from afar. Colette's rival, brimming with demands for updates on behalf of their mutual associate, that elusive mystery boss, who's been the talk of the town, only amplified the friction. Her haughty attitude, like a spark to dry tinder, could ignite a deadly confrontation. Picture this expanded scenario as Colette presses Sidwell in the dimly lit halls of Windermere, her voice echoing off ancient stone walls. She unwittingly reveals too much about their boss's impatience, perhaps even dropping hints of a larger conspiracy involving hidden artifacts or encrypted files that tie back to Port Charles's underbelly. Sidwell, with his piercing eyes and a history of ruthless decisions, let's invent a backstory where he's evaded international pursuits by eliminating loose ends in exotic locales. Might see her as a liability too great to ignore. The tension builds to a crescent d'amebe over a heated exchange at the edge of the castle's parapet, where the wind howls and the sea crashes below. In a fit of rage, Sidwell could shove her over the edge, her screams lost to the night, setting the stage for that fateful discovery by Rocco and Danny. This invented detail adds a cinematic flair. Perhaps Sidwell pauses afterward, lighting a cigar as he watches the body vanish into the foam, ensuring his dominance remains unchallenged. But the spoilers tease an even darker layer to this unfolding tragedy. It's not just one body that might surface, but possibly two, with indications of a male victim alongside Colette. This dual discovery amplifies the horror, turning a single mishap into what could be a calculated double hit or a tragic coincidence. Who could this mysterious man be? Speculation runs wild, but let's explore the possibilities with fresh insights. One theory points to Pascal, Colette's occasional partner in schemes, whose loyalty has always seemed tenuous. If Sidwell views him as equally dispensable, Perhaps he meets a similar fate during the same confrontation, his body joining Colette's in the depths after a botched alliance talk turns violent, inventing a new element. Imagine Pascal arriving unannounced at Windermere, overhearing Colette's pleas and attempting a desperate intervention, only to be caught in a cross-formé by hidden blade or a swift push seals his end. Alternatively, could it be someone closer to the heart of Port Charles, like a peripheral figure tied to the WSB intrigue? Brennan's own operatives might not be immune. Perhaps a low-level agent who crossed paths with Colette, discovering her double-dealing and paying the ultimate price. Expanding on this, we can picture a frantic chase through the estate's labyrinthine corridors, culminating in a plunge from the heights, their bodies entwined in a macabre dance as they hit the water. As we connect these dots, the broader implications for General Hospital's narrative become tantalizing. This body sighting could ripple outward, affecting key players like Sonny Corinthos, whose own brushes with danger make him wary of escalating threats. Rocco and Danny's involvement adds a poignant, youthful innocence to the horror, perhaps forging unbreakable bonds or sparking investigations that unearth deeper conspiracies. For Colette, if she is indeed the female victim, her arc serves as a cautionary tale of ambition gone awry in a world of spies and secrets. The male counterpart remains a puzzle. Could it be a returning character, like a long-lost Renault associate, or an entirely new face introduced to heighten the stakes? Inventing further, let's consider the mystery boss's hand in this. Perhaps they orchestrated the hits to consolidate power, using Sidwell as a pawn in a game that spans continents, with clues washing ashore that point to international espionage bleeding into Port Charles. Fans are left speculating wildly. Is this the start of a murder spree, or an isolated incident that unravels the WSB from within? Wrapping up these thrilling possibilities, the week ahead promises edge-of-your-seat drama as Rocco and Danny's discovery sends shockwaves through the town. Whether Colette and her unidentified male companion are the unfortunate souls, or if the plot twists in unexpected directions, one thing is certain: General Hospital is ramping up the suspense like never before. Next, we will explore the tense developments involving a potential emergency call that could shake up the lives of several key characters in Port Charles. Diving into the latest buzz from General Hospital, insiders are hinting at a pivotal moment where Britt Westburn might reach for that hidden burner phone to summon Jason Morgan in a desperate plea for help. This secretive communication device, tucked away like a lifeline in the shadows, represents Britt's last resort amid the escalating chaos at the luxurious, yet perilous Five Poppies resort. Picture the scene. Jason, with his trademark stoic determination, had pleaded with Britt to abandon the dangerous locale and escape alongside him, offering to whisk her to any safe haven she desired, far from the web of intrigue ensnaring them. But Britt, ever the resilient doctor with her own agenda, stood her ground firmly, insisting that Jason depart solo to avoid drawing more attention to their precarious situation. In a moment of reluctant parting, Jason pressed the untraceable phone into her hands, his voice low and earnest as he vowed to drop everything and return at her signal. Inventing a fresh layer to this exchange, perhaps Jason slipped in a coded phrase echoes of the past as a signal for authenticity, drawing from their shared history of survival in high-stakes worlds, ensuring Britt knows it's truly him on the other end when crisis strikes. This promise hangs heavy in the air, a beacon of reliability in a storyline riddled with betrayal, setting the stage for Britt to activate it when the threats become too overwhelming. As the plot thickens, it's becoming increasingly probable that Britt will activate this covert line sooner than anticipated, especially if she uncovers the dire straits facing Jocelyn Jacques and her companion Vaughn. The resort, with its opulent facades hiding sinister undercurrents, has transformed into a trap for these two, now held captive by the cunning Pascal, whose motives twist like vines in a forgotten garden. Britt, with her sharp instincts honed from years navigating medical and moral minefields, might stumble upon this captivity through overheard whispers in the resort's echoing corridors, or a frantic note slipped under her doorlet's invented detail where she spots Jocelyn's distinctive bracelet abandoned in a hallway, a clue that ignites her alarm. Knowing the lethal risks woven into this operation, from armed guards patrolling the grounds to hidden surveillance that tracks every move, Britt could feel the weight of impending doom pressing down. This realization might propel her to dial Jason in a heartbeat, her fingers trembling as she inputs the number in a dimly lit room, the phone's glow casting eerie shadows on her face. Expanding on her character, we can envision Britt reflecting on her own past brushes with danger, like narrowly escaping a corrupt clinic scandal in her early days, fueling her resolve to intervene before Pascal's grip tightens fatally. Such a distress signal from Britt could ignite a high-octane rescue operation, with Jason charging back to the Five Poppies resort like a force of nature, driven by unbreakable loyalty to safeguard Carly Spencer's beloved daughter from the brink of disaster. Jason's return wouldn't be a casual stroll. Imagine him assembling a makeshift arsenal en route, perhaps recruiting an old ally from his Quartermain connections for intel on the resort's layout, adding a new invented element where he deciphers encrypted blueprints of the property to plan an infiltration under the cover of a stormy night. His mission would extend beyond Jocelyn to include Vaughn, entangled in the same web of captivity. As Jason employs every ounce of his tactical expertise, let takedowns, diversionary tactics, and perhaps even a rigged explosion to create chaos to extract them both. This heroic pivot would underscore Jason's evolution from a lone enforcer to a guardian angel figure, his actions rippling through the narrative to highlight themes of redemption and family ties that bind even the most fractured souls in Port Charles. In calling upon Jason, Britt positions herself once more as a savior in Jocelyn's tumultuous life, echoing her previous acts of bravery that have endeared her to fans. Recall that unforgettable clash where Britt heroically shielded Jocelyn from the menacing hook wielded by the unhinged Heather Weber, a moment etched in GH lore for its raw intensity and Britt's unflinching courage. Now, in this fresh crisis, Britt's decision to summon reinforcements could elevate her role, transforming her from a reluctant participant to a central architect of survival. Let's add an inventive twist. Perhaps during the call, Britt relays specific details about Pascal's weaknesses, like his phobia of enclosed spaces drawn from a overheard conversation, giving Jason a strategic edge in the rescue. By doing so, she not only ensures Jocelyn's safety, but also neutralizes looming dangers on the resort grounds, such as patrolling henchmen or booby-trapped escape routes, cementing her legacy as a multifaceted hero who blends medical prowess with street-smart savvy. Meanwhile, Jocelyn and Vaughn aren't idle victims. They're channeling their honed WSB training to claw their way out of Pascal's clutches, employing clever ruses and improvised weapons in a bid for freedom. Jocelyn, with her fiery spirit inherited from Carly, might attempt to pick a lock using a hairpin from her updo, while Vaughn draws on his espionage background to decode guard patterns, perhaps even staging a fake illness to lure captors into a vulnerable position. Yet, despite their resourcefulness and an expanded scene where they whisper plans in a hidden alcove, mapping out ventilation shafts as potential exits, odds stack against them in this fortified lair. Britt, sensing that their skills alone might falter against Pascal's superior forces, could be the catalyst for tipping the scales. Her burner phone outreach to Jason promises to shatter the status quo, injecting a surge of adrenaline into the storyline and paving the way for alliances to shift dramatically as the rescue unfolds. These unfolding events at the Five Poppies resort weave a tapestry of suspense, where a single phone call could unravel plots and forge new paths for characters like Britt, Jason, Jocelyn, and Vaughn. The burner phone, a symbol of hidden connections, underscores the fragility of trust in a world of secrets, potentially leading to revelations about Pascal's broader schemes that tie back to Port Charles power players. As tensions mount, fans are left pondering how this SOS will reshape dynamics, perhaps even drawing in unexpected figures like Carly herself, who might sense her daughter's peril through maternal intuition. Next, we will delve into the emotional whirlwind surrounding Cody Bell, as he navigates a heart-wrenching crossroads involving two captivating women in his life. In the ever-twisting saga of Port Charles romances, fresh General Hospital spoilers point to Cody Bell standing at a critical juncture, ensnared in a romantic tangle that pits his affections against a web of deception and budding desires. The drama ignited when Molly Lansing Davis unexpectedly walked in on Cody sharing a stolen kiss with the enigmatic Ava Jerome amid the rustic charm of the stables, a moment that shattered illusions and laid bare hidden schemes. Seizing the opportunity for truth, Cody spilled the beans about Christina Corinthos Davis's cunning plot to bribe him into seducing Ava as a means of revenge, but he emphasized a crucial twist deliberately sabotaged the plan, walking away from Christina's promised fortune because his heart had quietly shifted toward Molly. This revelation wasn't born from mere guilt, it sprang from authentic emotions bubbling up, with Cody sensing a spark of reciprocity in Molly's eyes that made his confession all the more exhilarating. Yet, in the aftermath, Molly's world tilted on its axis, her trust fractured and her pride wounded, potentially driving her into the comforting embrace of someone like Michael Corinthos, which could ignite jealousy in Cody and weave even more intricate complications into their already fraught connections, inventing a new facet to this unfolding tale. Perhaps Cody reflects on a cherished memento from his pasta-faded photo of a lost love that mirrors his growing bond with Molly, reinforcing his choice to prioritize genuine connection over fleeting gains. This bold step by Cody to halt his involvement with Ava represents a seismic shift in his character's journey, transforming him from an opportunistic drifter into a man willing to gamble everything for love. Originally enlisted by Christina to prey on Ava's vulnerabilities during a vulnerable phase in her life, Cody found himself teetering on the edge of consummating the ruse, his lips meeting Ava's in what could have been a point of no return. But Molly's timely rival, her face a mask of raw devastation, acted like a jolt of clarity, freezing him in place and compelling him to abandon the scheme entirely. By coming clean, he not only severed ties with Christina's financial incentives, but also exposed himself to her wrath, all because Molly's presence evoked something deeper, a shared vulnerability forged through conversations about their scarred histories of loss and betrayal. Let's add an inventive detail. In the stable's dim light, Cody might have noticed Molly's signature necklace glinting, a subtle reminder of a heartfelt talk they'd shared about family legacies, which tipped the scales in his decision to choose integrity over deceit. This act of self-sabotage highlights Cody's evolving maturity, as he envisions a future where Molly sees him not as a con artist, but as a partner worthy of her trust. Though the question lingers whether his timing will salvage their fragile rapport or deepen the rift, Molly's universe unravels spectacularly upon discovering Cody locked in that intimate moment with Ava, plunging her into a storm of heartache and profound humiliation that echoes through her every thought. She had viewed Cody as a rare bright spot in the gloom following her painful breakup with TJ Ashford, a man who seemed to understand her inner turmoil and offer solace without judgment. The bombshell of Christina's interference, coupled with Cody's initial complicity, strikes her like a multifaceted betrayal, coming from family and a potential lover alike, leaving her questioning every tender exchange they'd shared. In this vulnerable state, Molly could gravitate toward Michael Corinthos for empathy, drawn by his own experiences with familial strife and his role as a steady confidant who's listened to her vent about life's injustices. Their intertwined Corinthos heritage might spark an unexpected romantic detour, a rebound that sends ripples through Port Charles's social circles, perhaps even straining Michael's relationships with others like Willow or Sunny, expanding with a new element. Imagine Molly confiding in Michael over a quiet coffee at Kelly's diner, where he shares a personal anecdote about his own romantic missteps, fostering a closeness that blurs the lines between friendship and something more intimate, all while Cody watches from afar with a sinking heart. Should Molly indeed find refuge in Michael's arms, it would deliver a sharp blow to Cody, inverting the dynamics of pain and forcing him to confront a surge of envy that tests his newfound resolve. Having been the architect of her distress through his deceptive actions, even if he halted before crossing irreversible lines, Cody might wrestle with the hypocrisy of resenting her choice to move on, especially since his confession aimed to clear the air. Yet, the intensity of his emerging feelings could fuel a sense of entitlement, prompting him to wonder if she's leaping into something new too hastily, without giving him a fair shot at redemption. This internal conflict might erupt into charged encounters, like a heated argument in the Quartermain Gardens where Cody pleads his case, his voice cracking with regret, while Molly stands her ground, eyes flashing with unresolved anger, inventing an additional layer. Perhaps Cody overhears a rumor about Molly and Michael's growing closeness through the town's gossip mill at the Metro Court, igniting a flashback to his own youthful jealousies that mirror this moment, pushing him to either step back gracefully or fight harder for what he believes is a once-in-a-lifetime connection. At the heart of this romantic maelstrom lies a profound choice for Molly, one that could redefine her path amid the chaos of Port Charles entanglements. Will she extend forgiveness to Cody for his misguided hustle, embracing the sincerity of his affections, or opt for the allure of a clean slate with someone untainted by recent scandals? Cody's gamble in prioritizing his heart over easy money sets a hopeful tone for reconciliation, yet the scars of betrayal run deep, potentially making her wary of vulnerability. If she chooses Cody, it could herald a fresh chapter of mutual healing, built on the honesty he's finally shown. Conversely, aligning with Michael might offer stability, but at the cost of unresolved tensions. With Cody lingering like shadows, let's invent a climactic twist. Perhaps a surprise letter from Cody, penned in the quiet hours of night, detailing his regrets and dreams for their future, arrives at Molly's doorstep, swaying her decision in a moment of quiet reflection. This dilemma encapsulates the essence of General Hospital's enduring appeal: complex hearts, clashing in a dance of passion and pain, leaving fans eager for the next revelation. As these threads of romance and regret continue to unravel, the stakes in Port Charles rise, with Cody's pivotal moment promising fireworks that could reshape alliances and affections alike. Will honesty prevail, or will new flames burn brighter? Keep tuning into our channel for the latest scoops, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think Molly will ultimately choose?